Hello, hello, and welcome to today's trending contract, Eco Warriors, set in Whittleton Creek and supplied to us today by Shaco 1610. So with no briefing, we'll move straight on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them, along with a free map. And for today's challenge, we'll be starting at the default location, and we'll be bringing with us a silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, our first 2 targets are both located in Mr. Batty's garden, and one of them is obviously Mr. Batty himself. So we're going to head straight down the main street here, and when we get past Mr. Cassidy's house, we're going to vault over the fence into Mr. Batty's garden. Mr. Batty is currently in the garden shed, so we can pass around and behind the shed whilst he's not looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our way over towards the house, and we need to be aware of our second target, who is the garbage man you can see off in the distance. He's just leaving, so we're going to overflow the tap here, which will set off the sprinklers, and then we're going to shoot the path light, and when Mr. Batty heads over this way, he will get distracted by the sprinkler system and he will step into the now electrified puddle. While we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to make our way behind the log shed and retrieve the fire axe, and then we're going to wait just behind the gate to the garden here for the returning garbage man. Now, depending on your timing, either Mr. Batty will first of all step into the puddle, or the garbage man will return from his smoke break. So it appears that Mr. Batty will be first of all. So if we move ever so slightly down towards the house and the shed, we should be able to just about get a nice view of that. It looks like the garbage man will be a little while yet. So there goes Mr. Batty getting distracted. Let's move a little bit closer, about here will do. And there is Mr. Batty heading to the puddle and finding that it's very much electrified. So 1 target down. We're going to now reposition ourselves back behind the gate and this flower pot. And as we do so, I can see that our next target is making their way back into the garden. And when they pass us, we can then launch the fire axe at the back of their head, and that's 2 targets taken care of. So from here we're going to make our way to the creek shed, and in there we will find, if it hasn't already blown itself to bits, a propane cylinder, and the shed door is closed. That means the propane cylinder is intact, and now we have to worry about whether it will blow up in our faces when we go to collect it. So we're going to head in through the window at the back as the door is locked. We're going to grab the propane cylinder before it self-detonates, and then once we have that, we can make our way over to Mr. Haskell's property, which is on the outside edge of the map. We're going to throw the propane cylinder up by his rocking chair. That looks good enough. And then we're going to make our way back across the street. And when Mr. Haskell finishes going to inspect the noise and goes back to his usual routine, part of that routine is to light a cigarette whilst in the chair. So 3 targets down, 2 more to go. If we are quick and we can get into the Hanson's properties garden and retrieve ourselves a second propane cylinder, we may just be able to catch our next target. So once we have the propane cylinder, we're going to hop back out of the fence or over the fence, and we're heading for the construction site area. And what we're going to do is place this cylinder on the floor on the pathway behind the red van you can see ahead of us. Now unfortunately, just to our left is our target, so we haven't quite made it. There she is. So what we're going to do is just drop the propane cylinder on the pathway, make our way into the bushes, pull out our silenced pistol and put one hole into the cylinder. And now all we can do is wait for our target to return, and she's going to run all the way around the map, so we will be here for a while. But when she gets back, we can then detonate the propane cylinder as she runs past and eliminate her with a very quick flying lesson. Our final target of the day is the exterminator, so we're going to make our way to the bushes next to his van. He's currently resting at the front of the van, but in a moment he will come around to this side of the van to make a phone call, and at that point we can pull out our silenced pistol and plant 2 in his back, and that's our final target now dealt with. So all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and we have a choice of 2 exits. We can take either the bridge or the bus, and as we've done a fair bit of running around, I'm gonna head for the bus stop exit. It is the slightly further exit away from us, but not by a considerable margin. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of, and once the bus leaves we can get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives to worry about, and that will gain us a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.